walk out. The American captain, Manak Patel, is at the striker's end, and that's Saiteja Mukamala at the non-striker's end. It's going to be Rijan Dakal with the ball for Nepal, and you're going to have the company of me, Andrew Leonard, alongside Peter Della Penna. Peter, great to be with you again. It's been a long day. We both actually only travelled over this morning, but we've been brought to life by a great first innings.
Did you just say Shakti the power?
I had to give Shakti a shout out. What a man he is. Great to see him continue to invest in the future of the game in Nepal. He's involved with academies and coaching, and there is a really healthy, mainly Nepalese crowd in cheering on their heroes, who they've come out in good numbers on a chilly Thursday evening. It was lovely around 7 o'clock when we were starting, but it's got a bit cold. Rijan Dakal, he only made his T20I debut last month. He's got the new ball in hand. It's 165 to win. We're all set. Here we go. Now, one thing to watch out for, and the reason why Nepal are opening the bowling from the racecourse end of the ground, Peter, is it's a much shorter leg side boundary for the two right-handers here, and out to the offside, well, it's acres of space.
Another interesting thing to note here, Andries Gauss and Simon Kamala formed a pretty potent opening combination in the absence of Manak Patel when he was injured. The T20I leg of that Namibia tour. Now that he's healthy, it's Andries Gauss who's made way. He'll be coming in at number 3 in the lineup for USA.
A little bit of movement back into the right-handers. We see that key currency, don't we, of left-arm fast bowlers. Yeah, Peter, I agree fully. 62, 41, 33 and 61, the 4 opening stands down in Namibia as the USA won that T20I tri-series that followed the Cricket World Cup League 2 ODIs. Surprised to see that change?
Only because I'm a believer in if it ain't broke, don't fix it. They had so much success together, I would say keep it going. But Manak, his preferred position in T20 cricket anyway, is as an opener.
Oh, now how is this missed? It's cut Manak Patel in half. He's advanced down the wicket. Rijan Dakal isn't necessarily quick, but he's very skillful. And I don't know how this has missed the off stump.
Well, I'm scratching my head here, and I'm sure plenty of people watching at home will be doing the same on this replay. How was it missed?
It might have even just, has it kissed the off stump? Have we seen one that has not quite taken the bails off?
It's a little whisper.
Maybe just a nuzzle of the off stump. Manak Patel very fortunate to survive. That's not the right line down the leg side. Peter, who's favourites here? America on home soil with their great run of form under Stuart Law?
Well, traditionally, we've seen since this ground has been opened, you really need to be scoring 180 plus if you're going to be competitive. And USA fans in particular will remember the chase they had in Canada on this ground was a record-setting chase. They chased down a target of 195, and they did it with 14 balls to spare, Lenny. That was from a situation when they were 48 for 3 after 8 overs, and then Aaron Jones went out of his mind and played the innings of his life, one of the great innings in American cricket history. That unbeaten 90.
Quite remarkable innings, wasn't it? Particularly from the position in the game, where I think at one point they needed the best part of 13 runs per over.
Unbeaten 94. Correct myself. So memorable that I missed it by 94 off 40 balls. I knew there was a 0 in there somewhere.
Starting to develop a bit of a penchant for that as well, isn't he? You saw his heroics in the CPL final again from an unpromising position. He looks for the away swinger this time. Good skills from Rijan Dakal, but just a little bit too much to the leg side. In that final, his CPL side were in all sorts of trouble. It looked like they were dead and buried. Darren Sammy, the head coach, came out for a bit of a chat, didn't he? Have I got the names right? I think I've got the names right there. Darren Sammy came out at the drinks break, had a word, and all of a sudden, the St. Lucia Kings turned it all around.
And that chase, Aaron Jones, was basically deja vu in that situation.
for that away swinger now. Again, this hasn't missed the stumps by much. There is definitely a little bit of movement with the new ball here in the second innings that we didn't see much of in the first innings.
Aaron Jones was 10 off 19. And then finished on 48 off 31.
Likes to make it interesting.
He likes to make people sweat. He doesn't sweat. Everybody else sweats.
Again, I saw the highlights. I wasn't watching the game live, but I saw the highlights, and it was predominantly that kind of favourite slog sweep that he likes to go to. Huge self-belief. As Aaron Jones, as this one hits the pad, it's pitched outside the leg stump. It shouldn't be given out, and it's not, but there was a run-out chance. And Patel did well to get back in. If he got caught watching the umpire there, he could well have been run out. Instead, it's a leg by to round out the first over, and the score is 7 for none.
भाग्यले जहिले साथ देला या नदेला तर e-सेवा लाइफ केयरले दिनेछ starting from just rupees 760 a year. Get coverage up to 5.3 lakhs. Download the e-सेवा app and secure your future today.
64 for 9 in the first innings. Harmeet Singh, Saurabh Netravalkar, Jesse Singh all taking 2 wickets. And it was Rohit Paudel, the captain, who top scored with 49 before getting run out on the final ball of the innings, trying to stretch it from 49 into a half century. Would have been his second in a row after he had one to round out the tour of Canada. Karen KC comes on from the media end to take the new ball inside Rajan Dakel. The river end, we're calling it. We got the race course end and the river end, the 2 R's.
DJ might just want to cut the tunes. He does, as Karen Casey comes in to America's captain. There is movement, isn't there? Definite movement. 2 full, gets away with it. This shift to get Monik Patel back up to open the batting. Who will have dictated that? Will that have been Patel himself? Will that have been Stuart Law? Or how will that have worked?
He's the captain. He calls the shots. He's the boss. Hey, squad. Hey, if you're the captain, why not?
Missed all 4 T20Is in Windhoek with the recurrence of that shoulder injury that ruled him out of the World Cup. Nice length, but hit into the leg side, and Gulshan Jah has to get the dive out to cut it off. Nepal fans, not sure what they're being spurred on by. Maybe a few Thursday evening drinks they're enjoying, but they're coming even more to life, aren't they? Everything being cheered now.
Well, I have no doubt that they would have gone to some of the Nepalese dining establishments around the city and filled up on some momo before they got into the stadium.
You gotta love your momo, Peter. There's nothing better. I don't know if you're watching the King City coverage. In Canada, there was a momo truck that came every day. Incredible scenes.
I wouldn't be surprised to see a momo truck parked outside on the weekend here in the parking lot.
Mukamala not able to counteract that length. For Nepal to win this game, do they need wickets early, or will the required run rate come into the equation as well?
Well, the bigger thing is just making sure USA doesn't run away here in the power play in the first 10 overs. Just build a bit of pressure, build pressure through keeping the runs down, whether that's through wickets or just dot balls the old-fashioned way. Just get that run rate climbing, and then you'll put some pressure on USA.
Yeah, one of the things that certainly Nepal fans will be acutely aware of is the struggles of the death. They haven't really found the combination that they want to go to in the last 5 overs. There is no Avinash Bahara in this squad for the moment. I think that's a byproduct of the focus really being on the ODI leg of this North American tour. Now remember, they didn't pick up any wins in Cricket World Cup League 2 in Canada, they'll be desperate to put that right here in the ODIs that will follow this Stake Stars and Summits trophy. Scotland come into play in that triangular series. As Mukamala chips it up towards Rowan Powdell, who takes the catch to send Nepal's fans into euphoria. And it's a purely wicket. It's the big one too. The man in red hot form. Mukamala holds out, and KC gets the breakthrough.
जितौं 10 लाखको उपहार यसपालिको चाडबाडमा स्क्रैच कार्ड मार्फत जित्नुहोस् 10 लाखसम्मको नगद उपहार साथै चुज योर स्किमबाट छान्नुहोस् रु 10,000 सम्मको थप स्क्रैच कार्ड वा 12,500 बराबरको 5 वर्ष एएमसी प्याकेज वा 7 वर्षसम्म बाई वन गेट वन सर्भिसिङ फ्री अनि बिग बाइक्समा 1 लाखसम्मको डिस्काउन्ट र यो स्किम होन्डा इजी फाइनान्समा पनि लागू हुनेछ।
Andrew's House in at number 3, who's had such an impact in his nascent international career. South African pedigree and origin, and he's taken like a duck to water to American cricket. And big news as well, Peter De La Penna, because he's been one of the first officially confirmed signings, overseas signings that is, in the new Nepal Premier League that will get going on the 30th of November. He signed for Bakara Avengers. Name for a franchise team, that is the Bakara Avengers. So they have House in their ranks. Karen Casey closes out an excellent first over. Just the one run from it and the big wicket of Mukamala too. USA, you're 8 for 1. What beautiful shots we've been given here by the drone camera. I want to thank you all for tuning in. If you're watching back in Nepal, you'll be on Kantapur TV HD as the keeper comes up to the stumps, Asif Sheikh. Bowls him! Bowls him, bowls him, bowls him! And Dakal goes through, and Nepal have 2.
Well, we've seen the stumps get knocked back quite a few times tonight. Usually by spin in the first innings. This time it's pace doing the trick. Rajan Dakal just got that one to nip back ever so slightly. Monak Patel was that one on a 4th stump line, and it just curled in ever so slightly to take back off stump. The captain is out for 3, and it's 8 for 2.
Why choose between your favorites when you can have both? Introducing Pizza Hut's all-new Mamma Mia. Best of both worlds on one plate. Mamma Mia Pizza. Test the epic. Starting at $7.29. Pizza Hut. There's something for everyone.
Well, the man we were just talking about, Aaron Jones, comes to the crease. The hero against Canada during the opening match of the T20 World Cup that was played here at this very venue. And the hero in the recently concluded Caribbean Premier League final as St. Lucia Kings got their hands on the trophy. But he's got a tall task at hand. It's the best part of 9 runs required per over. And talk about Nepal needing early wickets. They've got 2. And they may well have 3. This is full. This is straight. And given not out. Well, wait for the signal. Wait for the signal. The umpire gives it as runs. He's trying to indicate that there's bat involved, although he's indicating it's going down the leg side. This looked very, very close, Peter Della Penna.
Well, if there's no inside edge, this is stone dead. I thought it was out live, and I think it's out on the replay too. I can't believe that was given not out. I thought that was as straightforward as it gets. And Aaron Jones, well, USA has gotten the benefit of the doubt on a lot of decisions tonight. That Ali Khan wicket in the power play looked like it was missing leg stump. This one is ripping out leg stump. Aaron Jones is still batting though.
Most remarkably, Peter, as well, as given his runs. So is the indication from the umpire potentially that there's some bat involved?
No. I know he didn't signal. There was no bat. There was no bat involved in that one. DT Gajra, the umpire, making that decision. We saw Vijay Malala give one very favorably in the field to Ali Khan on an LBW appeal in the first innings.
It just looked right, this one, didn't it? It definitely pitched in line. We'll try and get a look after this delivery once more. I was convinced that the finger was going to go up. It looked full, it looked straight.
It's just one of those nights, Lenny, where when we're not looking at the umpires, the finger goes up, and when we're looking at the umpires waiting for the finger to go up, they keep it down.
Might get one more look now if we can. Here it is. Now the question is, has it pitched in line? Yes is the answer to that. It's leg stump, isn't it, that you suspect that's going to cannon into?
Well, and the other giveaway is Aaron Jones. He's looking at it for a leg by. I think he knows he hasn't hit it, and I think he's looking back partially to see where the ball is going for a leg by, and partially because he knows he doesn't want to look at the umpire. He doesn't want to see the finger go up.
The look of fear. Dakal's causing all sorts of problems. Great skills. Moving it both ways. And Andrew's House will have to knuckle in. Be interesting to see how much Gulshan Jah is used with the ball.
Well, there's been a lot of shouting by you in this over, Andrew Leonard. As we get a really zoomed-in replay, I can't see an inside edge here. And I don't think anybody back in Tom-L or Kathmandu or Poker is seeing an inside edge either, Mr. Leonard.
Maybe just missing line is what the umpire's indicating.
If so, because it's hitting middle, if that's the case. Not missing the stumps. Hitting some part of the stumps.
Flirting with legs. Really good over. Superb start from Rajan Dakal. He got 1 in the over. He could have had 2. 3 have been bowled. It's 10 for 2.
No compromise with Arasauji.
विजयजी बडो स्मार्ट हुनुहुँदो रहेछ क्वालिटी हेर्नुहुँदो रहेछ मूल्य होइन
मुटु चाहिन्छ मुटु
पैसा ठाउँको ठाउँ पनि रहेछ नगदबाट फोन पे गर्नु
Shouting that last over for wickets and maybe wickets. Got a message that's come in here from somebody whose name is written in Devanagari script. So I don't know how to translate that. But this person is a Nepalese fan who lives in Dallas. That's what it says. Hey, Peter. Would you please stop being so noisy and shouting during the commentary when wickets are falling down? As soon as you did that, my baby who is sleeping woke up. Well, we can understand why that might happen because it's 7:45 back in Nepal. So there's a lot of early risers tuning into the coverage.
Is he not watching from Texas, he said?
Well, he might have moved. I don't know. Could be visiting family. I can't imagine the baby sleeping at, well, maybe 8:45.
You do get excited, Peter. Your passion for the
Well, it's an
game.
exciting game. This is cricket. This isn't church. This isn't the temple. This is a sporting event.
Slight hold up in play here as there's some attention needing to be paid to Andreas House's bat. He's getting a new grip applied to the bat. We're going to try and get a look at the wickets. Nice moment of a special moment, really, isn't it, for Richard Dackle? How much of this credit should go not just to the bowler but to the captain, Rohit Powell, who got the keeper up to the stumps, so that put the pressure on Patel, who was trying to get down the wicket.
Yeah, just a subtle thing can make a big difference. Roland Powell, who took a catch in the previous over.
I'll tell you what was a nice moment for Powell as well. You and I were both there, Peter, weren't we, for the Nepal versus Netherlands game on the 4th of June during that World Cup, and it was such a special occasion, a festive occasion, that Ian Bishop actually commented upon it in the final game in Barbados. He said it was his moment of the tournament. He said seeing 7,200 Nepal fans, or 7,150 alongside the 30 or 40 or 50 Dutch fans that came in, the friends and family. And it was Powell that dropped the catch in that game that may well have turned that match around. Max O'Dowd, he put down at long off. This is chipped in the air and wide of the mid-wicket fielder and short of mid-on. So maybe just a touch of redemption for a moment that, for someone who's such a good fielder, I can't remember Rohit Powell dropping a catch he put down during the World Cup.
Yeah, that was on the opposite side of the ground. That was at the racecourse side. We were on the far side where the media box was set up during the World Cup, and that was shocking. Couldn't believe that. And the whole stadium rose to their feet in anticipation. They were ready to explode. And then the top never
Never blew off.
Never blew off because it went down, and the fans couldn't believe it.
You've covered cricket, Peter, I know, quite literally in all the corners of the world, all the outposts of the cricketing world, and at some of the biggest events there's been. This is whipped into the leg side. Jazz going to have to slide to keep it to a single. Does really well. Can you remember an atmosphere as special as that? It was contagious, wasn't it?
Well, there were a couple of remarkable things about it. First and foremost, that was a 10:30 in the morning start on a weekday, and yet the place was jam-packed before the first ball was bowled. And the energy, the sound during the national anthems, I remember quite clearly. And you just couldn't believe something like that could happen in America, or anywhere for that matter, for two associates. The last time I remember an atmosphere like that for two associate teams playing was when Afghanistan and Ireland faced off against each other, when both teams still had associate status, and they had those finals of the qualifier in Dubai and Abu Dhabi back in the early 2010s.
Shapur Zadran coming in off the long run.
And Dalit Zadran and Hamid Hassan.
Paul Sterling and Trent Johnston smashing them everywhere.
You know, all that kind of stuff. Those atmospheres were electric, especially 2010, because that was the year that Afghanistan qualified for the first ever World Cup, T20 World Cup at the time. And that 2010 final, the atmosphere in Dubai for that was something I'll never forget. And you had the PA announcer making statements translated in Pashtun saying, anybody who runs onto the field will be escorted immediately to the airport and sent out of the country. As everybody was on their best behavior, there was no pitch invasion. But it was
might
just,
have had one here at Grand Prairie, if I remember.
Yeah.
I think you've got all a bit too much for one Nepal fan. They were dealt with very kindly, I believe, thanks to Justin and the MLC, the ground team here. Slower ball. Now, this is chipped up into the air. Has he got enough of it? Just. Powell does so well to keep it to just a single. But I think House's heart will have been in his mouth for a moment there. Subtle change of pace potentially from Karen KC. Very nearly outfoxed Andrews House.
you know, he's got this issue. I'm not sure if it's tendinitis or a bit of tennis elbow or what it is, but he's gotten into this habit now for deliveries of, he just kind of flexes his arm doing a straight drive, and he got some attention before the start of this over, and you just wonder if he's got something that's irritating his arm. He's taken the glove off, and he's looking again for some more assistance in between overs, as it's 13 for 2 after 4.
Introducing Pizza Hut's all-new Momo Mia. Momo Mia. Best of both worlds on one plate. Momo Mia Pizza. Test the epic. Starting at $7.29. Pizza Hut. There's something for everyone.
13 for 2 after 4 overs. USA again chasing a target of 165. Fans are bundled up here. Brisk Grand Prairie, just west of downtown Dallas. It was gorgeous and sunny in the daytime. I don't know what it was like when you landed, Andrew Leonard, but when I got here, I brought a jacket with me and I had to take it off. I was wearing shorts and a t-shirt. It was hot. It was steamy when I got off the plane.
I assure you it was warmer than Dublin and Ireland, where it was about a week, when it seems to be eternally freezing cold. Now, this is a good move. Ridge-on tackle is going to be given a third consecutive. And with the movement that's being created, you can understand why Rohit Powell wants to keep going. Seems to have been quite a disparity to the sort of scale of movement we've seen with the new ball between the two innings. Has this been a misread of the conditions by USA in terms of choosing the ball for it?
I just think traditionally, whether in MLC or in the T20s that have been played here, the preference is to chase at night. Again, that chase that USA had chasing the target of 195 against Canada on the opening night of the World Cup, that was at night.
And that is not the right line. It's flicked away all the way for 6. It's a good stroke to the shorter side, and House finally gets himself moving. And a little bit of congratulations from Aaron Jones. And the few American fans that are heavily outnumbered, they celebrate heartily.
This is a ground, again, with the way the boundaries are configured tonight, you can make up runs quickly. One good over on the batting side, one bad over on the bowling side. Suddenly, that required run rate is going to drop sharply. You can score very quickly on this ground. USA will be banking on that, just that one loose over.
Flicked away again, going to be back-to-back boundaries. The exact same part of the ground, this time along the ground, not in the air, and it's 10 runs from 2 deliveries, just like that for USA.
Well, it's only a third of the way gone through this over, and they've already collected 11 runs. Just talking about moments ago, what looked like a positive, aggressive decision at the start of this over by keeping Ridge-on tackle on may now be backfiring for Nepal. They've got 3 guys out now. There's a lot of confusion out there that Andres House is creating. They had the fine leg pushed out. Now they're bringing the fine leg back into the ring. It's long on and deep backward square leg with 2 boundary riders in the power play.
I don't mind the move, even if this over goes for 50. They don't get the wicket. I think it's the positive move. I don't think Dackle has shown he's quite got the skills yet, even though he bowls a good slower ball to bowl 2 consecutively at the death. So it's an aggressive move. It's not something you see altogether too often at the very top level of T20 international cricket. Some of the bigger teams don't like going 3 in a row from the same bowler. But I think when the conditions are in your favour, it's no bad thing. And if he could still get the 3rd wicket here in the power play, it would be big advantage to Nepal.
Well, you never know, Lenny. If he takes a wicket off these last 3 balls, we could be on the verge of a Kalimula.
To rename the Kalimula as Dependency Nairi fields ever so quickly. Gets a big ovation from the crowd. Kalimula was shorn of his usual death bowler for Oman during the Canada series. Bilal Khan out with a shoulder injury, so he was having to bowl 2 at the start and 2 at the death.